Hey everybody, welcome back. Devin, the OG, the original Grognard, sitting down here at the table, and we are continuing our solo playthrough of the Shores of Tripoli from Fort Circle Games. And I did make one mistake the last time I was playing, and if you've watched my videos, you know that's actually a relatively low number. For some reason, when I did one of the raids from the Tripolitan forces, I thought I had rolled 2 6s on the roll, but when after shifting the camera around, looking back, I only saw that there was one. So I only gave them 1 coin, but upon further review, yes, they actually did roll 2 6s. So they are going to get another gold coin, which puts them at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 12 they need to win the game. And so we're also stepping into spring of 1803. So let's grab our cards and give ourselves a little refresher. Corsairs confiscated. Yeah, that's probably not going to come into play soon. That's not going to come into play soon. Ooh, we got 2 naval movements. We like that. Congress authorizes actions. Place 2 frigates on the following year. That might actually not be a bad one to play. We'll look at that one. Tribute paid. Lieutenant Starrett in pursuit. That's an intercept, roll 1. Burn the Philadelphia. That's only if there's a Tripolitan frigate in the harbor of Tripoli. Roll 1 dice. Corsair, yeah. All right. Let's take a look. What have we got? Just as a quick reminder, we got 3 frigates in Gibraltar. We've got 2 frigates in Malta and a gunboat. The 2 Swedish frigates are still in play. And we haven't touched any of their infantry, and there's 3 Corsairs in Tripoli, and no Allied Corsairs anywhere. All right, so we need to keep the pressure on those Corsairs in Tripoli. So let's just go ahead and go with a naval movement to move 4 frigates and resolve any battles that arise from that. So we're going to take the 3 from Gibraltar, and we're going to do a port raid. And we're going to pull another one from Malta. And since we're doing a port raid, we're going to go ahead and pull the gunboat in as well. We've got 8 dice from the 4 frigates and another dice from the gunboat. I don't have any cards to play, or any combat cards. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. 2, 3, 4. That's probably a better set of dice rolls than I've had all game. So that is going to pretty much wipe out the entire Tripolitan corvette or Corsair force. So, but they do still get their attacks back. So they get 3 dice. And yeah, so nothing. All right, so that's good. That gives me hope for now actually winning the game as the U.S. for the first time. Although I thought that a few times in the past, and yeah, it didn't turn out. All the ships are returned to Malta, and we go back to checking. Or now it's the T-Bot's turn. Again, the cards that are in play: Constantinople sends aid. Hemet's army has not captured anything yet, and then the pirate raid. This is only good if there's multiple allies out there. There are no allies out there, so completely skip that, and then we go straight to 5 Corsairs check. If there are 5 or more Corsairs in the harbor of Tripoli, there aren't. Tripoli performs a raid. All right, so since that condition is not in effect, we go ahead and draw an event card for them. And Tunisian Corsairs raid. So let's go ahead and take a look at the rule book, the back of the rule book real quick. Let's see, where is it? Yeah, here we go. Algerian, Moroccan, Tunisian Corsairs raid. Discard to perform a raid or build action. Please note that it's possible with the T-Bot to raid with, for example, Algerian Corsairs by discarding Tunisian Corsairs. Yeah, so there we go. So this card will get discarded. And we'll put it in the discard. And we do a raid or build. Quick refresher on this. If a harbor has at least 3 Corsairs, well, there is none. So all that is completely moot. Otherwise, place the Tripolitan Corsair in the harbor of Tripoli. All right, so they are going to get 1 corvette in Tripoli. Cool. That works just fine. So now what are we going to do as the U.S. in the summer of 1803? I think I can't do the raise the army yet. Hemet's army. Yeah, spring of 1804. So I have at least a year to wait. All right, so let's go ahead. I don't think I really need to do this one. Yeah, I mean, I've got overwhelming force now. Yeah, let's go ahead and do naval movement. Move up to 4 American frigates, resolve any battles fought. So we're playing that as an event, and it is not a remove from game. So it just goes into the discard pile. The discard pile up there. Oh, you know what? Let's take 2 of the frigates and put them outside of Tripoli, and then take 2 frigates and do a raid on Dern or Dernay, however it's pronounced. And since we're doing a port raid, we can pull the gunboat along with us. So we've got, we're basically going for port raid. We're going to be trying to destroy the infantry. And again, combat against infantry is just the same as it is against ships. Take the number of dice that you're supposed to have. In this case, we're supposed to have 5 for the 2 frigates and the 1 gunboat. Roll them, and a hit on a 6. And, hey, there we go. There we go. So we got knocked 1 infantry out. And just as before, whenever any port combats are done, they immediately return to Gibraltar. Now, so the thing is, since they're infantry on the shore, and I'm just shore bombarding them, they don't get to shoot back. They can only shoot back if there's corsairs in the water. And there's no corsairs in the water right now. Well, except for the one at Tripoli. But not where we were attacking it. All right, so let's go over to the T-bot turn. Again, Constantinople and Yusuf not in effect. And then we go to the 5 Corsair check. 5 Corsair check is not applicable because we don't have 5 Corsairs in Tripoli. Draw a card. Algiers declares war. So the new card, we haven't seen this one before. Algiers declares war. Where is it? It's right here. Algiers, Morocco, Tunis declares war. Play immediately. So what does this mean? Place 3 Algerian Corsairs in the harbor of Algiers. So these are the orange Allied Corsairs. So now we've got some more Corsairs out there that we're going to have to worry about and deal with. That's fine. That's okay. We can deal with that. Move into fall of 1803. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we got. Oh, yeah. It's a convenient time that we have this. Move 1 American frigate to the harbor of an active ally of Tripoli. Algiers, Tangiers, or Tunis. Return all the Corsairs from the harbor to the supply. The Tripolitan player receives 2 gold coins. Now, do I want to play that? Give them 2 gold coins to take care of those. No, I don't think we're going to do that. Again, coming back to placing 2 American frigates on the fall. I don't think... no, we're not going to do that. Let's see. You know what? What I am going to do, burn the Philadelphia. I'm going to play this as an action. I'm not going to play it for the event. I'm going to play it as an action. And we're going to go ahead and put it in the discard because I didn't actually use it. We're going to take, and we're going to move 2 ships from Malta. And we're going to put them in positions to intercept the Algerian Corsairs out of Algiers. Go ahead, step over to the T-bot turn. Again, Constantinople, Yusuf, nothing. Go over to 5 Corsair check. There are not 5 Corsairs in Tripoli, so we end up drawing a card. Storm. Select a patrol zone that contains at least 1 American frigate. Roll 1 dice for each American frigate. The first 6 rolled sinks a frigate. Each additional 6 rolled damages a frigate is placed on the following. Remember when I was saying that all the times I've played, I've only lost 1 American frigate? Yeah, it was to a Storm's Guard. So let's take a look at the solitaire real quick. If there's a naval patrol zone with at least 2 American frigates, play immediately. Otherwise, add to the end of the event card. Well, we've got two that it could possibly be. Let's roll even for Algiers, odd for Tripoli. And it's even, so it is going to be for Algiers. And we roll 1 dice for the first frigate. It's a 1, and 1 dice for the second frigate. No 6s, so the Storms didn't do any damage that time. That's probably a good thing. We like that. All right, now, winter of 1803. Take a look at what cards we've got left. Congress authorizes actions, tribute paid. I want to keep that for an intercept roll. Corsairs confiscated. See, again, this one isn't going to do anything. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use this as an action. I'm not going to play it as an event, so I'm just going to play it as an action. So it goes in the discard pile. Discard pile right up there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to build another gunboat in Malta. So there we go, right there. Switches over to the T-Bot turn. Constantinople, Yusuf, neither could... Oh, actually, we need to look at Yusuf because Yusuf... let's see, what the conditions are Yusuf. If it's 1801 to 1804, play if 2 allies of Algiers, Morocco, or Tunis are active. Okay, so neither one of those are active. But in 1805, we have to start looking at that because they only need 1 ally active to be able to activate the Yusuf card. So again, we flip over to 5 Corsair check. Again, there's not 5 Corsairs in Tripoli. Draw an event card. Sweden pays tribute. Oh, I was not wanting this card to show up. Playable if it's 1803 or later. Well, let's check the conditions. It's Sweden plays tribute. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, okay. Yeah, Sweden plays tribute. Play if it is 1803. Well, it's 1803. Or later, and there are Swedish frigates in the naval patrol zone. Return the Swedish frigates to supply and receive 2 gold coins. We are playing this as the event is removed. If you were playing 2 players, it would normally be removed from play. But in the T-Bot Solitaire, it just goes into the discard. And the 2 Swedish frigates have decided they've had enough. And 2 more gold coins are added to the Tripolitan forces. We'll go 4 high. It makes it a little bit easier to stack them that way. Getting over there now, over 50%, and we still aren't even halfway through the game yet. This still can go very bad for the U.S. player. So that was the winter of 1803. Go ahead and switch it back to the turn and advance to 1804. We have a ship that goes into Gibraltar, and I draw the last 6 cards. And I can only keep 8, so I've got to get rid of 2 cards. Oh, yeah, we like this one. Constantinople demands tribute. Tripolitan player must return 2 gold coins to the supply. We're keeping that one. Show of force. Move 3 American frigates to the harbor of an active ally of Tripoli. Return all... Oh, we're going to keep that one. General Eaton attacks Benghazi. I'm probably going to keep that one. Naval movement, we like that. We're going to keep that. Assault on Tripoli. It's a victory or death card. It can only be played in 1805 or later, so we're not going to keep it. Lieutenant O'Bannon leads the charge. Select 1 Marine infantry roll to roll 3 dice. So we'll go ahead. That's probably... Congress authorizes action. We're kind of getting to the point where we really just don't need this card anymore, so let's go ahead and discard that one. Tribute paid. We don't want to give them any more gold coins. Well, let's see how many. We've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to have to keep 1 card. Let's keep Assault on Tripoli. No. Yeah, let's keep Assault on Tripoli. So these 2 cards are going to be thrown into the discard pile. The other 8 are going to go into my hand. And as the start of my turn, I need to decide what I want to do. I think we're going to go with Constantinople demands tribute. Tripolitan player must return 2 gold coins to the supply if it will focus. There we go. Now we can see it much better. So yeah, we're going to do that. Basically, Constantinople was the center of Islam for the longest time in the Middle East. It was the big boy in the block and basically was urging and protecting all of the Barbary Coast pirates, but they required their tribute from time to time. So I'm going to take 2 gold coins, and we're going to... Did I already move them back? I don't think I moved them back. Did I move them back? What did I do with them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Yeah, we didn't move them back yet, so 2 are returned. Why is this keeping getting out of focus? Let's see if I can fix that. All right. So that's good. That buys us a little bit of time. Pushes the victory point down because they're now down to 5 gold coins instead of the 7 they were at. Okay, so now it's 1804. Constantinople sends aids. Again, Hamet's army hasn't taken Dernay. But we do have to look at Yusuf, his card right here, because is it 1804 or 1805? Okay, yeah, if 1801 to 1804 play if 2 allies of Algeria, Morocco, or Tunis are active. Well, they're not. We still only have 1 of the 3 allies that are active, so we don't worry about that. We go to the 5 Corsair check. Again, there are no 5 Corsairs in Tripoli, so we draw a card. Moroccan Corsairs raid. Pirate raid with all Corsairs from the harbor of Tangier. Well, let's see what the actual book says. Let's see, where is it? Yeah, right here. Discard to perform a raid or build action. All right, so we're going to do a raid or build action. Let's go ahead and discard that. And again, here's the raid or build. If a harbor, Algiers, Tangiers, Tunis, or Tripoli have at least 3 Corsairs, well, we do have Algeria, and more Corsairs and Swedish frigates in the corresponding naval zone, raid from that harbor, otherwise place a Tripolitan Corsair in the harbor of Tripoli. Well, all right, finally. We've got 3 Corsairs in Algiers, and we've got more Corsairs than we do U.S. frigates, so they're going to go ahead and raid. And just because I can, I am going to play... Where is it? Okay, Lieutenant Sterrett in pursuit. Playable when making an interception roll. Each American frigate may roll 3 dice instead of 2. And since it's a battle card, if played as a battle card, this card is removed from the game. We'll just go ahead and put that right there. And we've got intercept. We've got 2 frigates, so we're going to get 6 dice. Again, hitting on 6s. Oof, 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 oof. Allies or the U.S. Their dice is finally coming hot. So 1 Corsair does get out, and watch this be a 6. Watch this be a 6. Nope, it's a 4. All right, so they don't get their booty like they were hoping. But that was a good roll for the U.S. All right, so that's my turn. No, that was the T-Bot's turn. So now we're in summer of 1804. Let's see, what have we got? Move up to 4 American frigates. Move 3 heavy. You know what? Let's go ahead and let's do a naval movement. Let's play the naval movement and move 4 American frigates. And this is an event card that doesn't get discarded or doesn't get removed from the game, so we put it in the discard. Let's take the frigate from Gibraltar and put it in Alexandria, because I need a frigate in Alexandria to launch Hemet's army. So that's 1. Let's go 2 frigates into Algiers and 1 frigate in Tripoli to pull along the 2 gunboats. All right, so we got some combat up here. We got 4 dice up here. Oh, we forgot something. Right. This is the card we forgot. U.S. Signal Books Overboard. Playable after any intercept roll that includes an American frigate. Randomly draw 1 card from their American player's hand and place it in card in the discard. So we're going to go ahead and activate that. And let's, since that the intercept happened last time, I'm going to take the U.S. Naval Movement. And we're going to shuffle the cards up and draw one of them. And knowing my luck, it'll probably be the 4 ships. No, it's the treaty. So, Treaty of Peace and Amity. So that one gets discarded, but I was able to play the naval movement. So we're going to move the 4 frigates like we already indicated. 1 to Alexandria, 2 to Algiers, and 1 to Tripoli. Combat is going to be just like it always is. So I got 4 dice in Algiers. Nothing, and they get 1 shot back at me. 3, nothing. All right, so those guys get pulled off, and they will return to Malta. And we've got 1 frigate and 2 gunboats in Tripoli, so that's going to be 4 dice. And all right, 2 hits. So we got 2 hits, which wipes out the Tripolitan Corsairs, but they still get their attack back. 3. Okay, and you know what? Something I just noticed as well. This is like I was saying, you need to pay attention. Guns of Tripoli. Play during a naval battle in the harbor of Tripoli. The Tripoli fleet may roll an additional 12 dice. I've been forgetting to do that one. It should have been done a very long time ago. Again, that's why you need to pay attention to these battle cards. Some of them only come up under rare circumstances. So that should have been used a very long time ago. And you know what? We're just going to go ahead and do it now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So apologies to everybody for having missed that card. So we're going to go ahead and discard that. Let's go ahead and put it in our discard pile over there. And we're going to roll 12 dice to see if we can sink a frigate and a couple Corsairs. Not exactly the most opportune time to use it, but it should have been done a long time ago. So, all right, here we go. Okay, so yeah, 1 6. Just 1 6. So we're going to go ahead and lose a gunboat. I don't consider a gunboat to be a loss equivalent of a frigate. So, but that could have gone much worse. All right, so that now makes it... Oh, that was my turn. Now we go back to the T-Bot. Again, Constantinople, yada, yada, yada. We're going straight to draw a card. Moroccan Corsairs raid. And discard to perform a raid or build action. So, okay, so it's going to be a raid or build action. Take a look at this card. If a harbor has at least 3 Corsairs, well, we don't have any harbors that have more than 3 Corsairs. Otherwise, place the Tripolitan Corsair in the harbor of Tripoli. So, I get another Corsair back. Building those little ships like busy little bees. So that's going to move it into fall of 1804. Let's take a look at what we got. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and do a show of force. Move 3 American frigates to the harbor of an active ally of Tripoli, Algiers, Tangier, or Tunis. Remove all Corsairs to in the harbor to the supply. So, and since this is not a discard, or a remove from game, we're going to put it in the discard. Let's take 3. Now, where does it say it moves it to? To the harbor. That is, all right, so that's patrol zone. That's the harbor. Corsairs get returned to the supply, and that means the U.S. ships get returned to Malta. All right, back to the T-Bot. Got that, yeah, it's going straight to drawing a card. Tunisian Corsairs raid, which I believe is going to be discard to perform a raid or build action. So we're going to do a raid or build action. We know what that is. We don't have 3 Corsairs anywhere. It's going to be Tripolitan Corsair in the harbor of Tripoli. So there we go. Now, winter of 1804. What is the last thing the U.S. player wants to do? I don't want to do anything with any of these cards. Well, no. Let's go ahead and get rid of this one to move 2 ships. We're just going to take 2 ships from Gibraltar and put them around Tripoli. We want to make sure we keep them all tied up. All right, so that's going to be back over to the T-Bot player. Yada, 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 yada. Yeah, we all know it's going to go in draw because we don't have at least 5 Corsairs in Tripoli. Troops to Tripoli. Place 2 Tripolitan infantry in the city of Tripoli. Let's see what the solo aid says. Let's see. That one I have not. Troops to Dern. Troops to Tripoli. Play immediately. All right, so place 2 Tripolitan infantry in the city of Tripoli. So Tripoli is going to be a little bit harder now to crack because they've got lots and lots of infantry there. All right, that's going to be it. We're going back to the spring. It is now 1805. Now, if you'll notice, we don't have a draw pile anymore. And this would happen in the 2-player game as well because both sides have an equal amount of cards. So what happens at the start of 1805 is each player shuffles their discard pile and creates a new draw pile, then draw 6 cards from it. So let's go ahead and shuffle these. I guess we're going to do, I guess the cool kids call this mana weaving. I don't know from Magic. I just find it a good way to break cards up initially. Put that and then right like that. And then shuffle a little bit more so no one can accuse me of cheating and stacking the deck. And draw 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. We've got 2 cards left over here, so that's going to bring our hand limit to 8. So we're going to have all the cards. We're going to keep all the cards. Okay, burn the Philadelphia, pointless to have. Bainbridge supplies intel. Take any card from the American, discard and place it in hand or play it immediately. We like that one. Early deployment is going to be pointless for us because there is no frigates left on the turn track. Oh, we like that one. Oh, I could really screw them over with this one. Ooh, I think maybe you might see what I'm talking about. Tribute paid, we'll hold on to that one. And Corsairs confiscated is going to be pointless because there are no Tripolitan Corsairs in the harbor of Gibraltar. All right, so what are we going to do? Well, bam. This is the first thing we're going to do. Tripolitan player must return 2 gold coins to the supply. We're going to go ahead and play that. That goes into the discard. And 2 more gold coins are returned to the supply. All right. Okay, now back to the T-Bot player. Constantinople, irrelevant. Yusuf, irrelevant, because you need at least... Now we're in 1805. If we had 1 ally out here, we don't have any allies out here yet, so we can't do it. 5 Corsair check, not there, so we draw a card. U.S. applies 1 roll and run low. Move 1 American frigate from any naval patrol zone to the harbor of Malta. Let's see what that says. U.S. applies 1 roll. If there are exactly 2 American frigates in the naval patrol zone of Tripoli, play immediately. Otherwise, discard to perform a raid or build. There are not. There are 3 American frigates, so it gets discarded to do a raid or build. Conditions are not being met to raid, so we are going to build again. So there's another Tripolitan Corsair in Tripoli. Now we're at the summer of 1805. We're going to do Bainbridge supplies intel. Take any card from the American discard pile and either play it in hand or play it immediately. Anybody want to guess what we're doing? Yes, that's right. Constantinople demands tribute, forcing the Tripolitan player to give 2 more coins to Constantinople. So really, Constantinople is the only one who's making out like a bandit in this game so far. They're sitting back, not doing anything, and they're getting fat and sassy while the rest of us are out here bleeding and dying. So that's my turn. Flips over to the Tripolitan player. Again, Constantinople and Yusuf, nothing. 5 Corsair raid. There's not 5 Corsairs. Go straight to draw a card. Algerian Corsairs raid. Pirate raid with all Corsairs from the harbor of Algiers. I believe this is going to be discard to perform a raid or build, which I was correct on that. So that's going to go into the discard pile. We do a raid or build. If a harbor has at least 3 Corsairs and more Corsairs than American and Swedish frigates, we have 3 Corsairs in Tripoli, but we also have 3 frigates in the intercept zone. So that condition isn't met. So we go ahead and do a build, which is going to put a 4th Corsair in Tripoli, which is, well, getting better for the Tripolitan forces. We're now fall of 1805. I think playable if it is spring of 1804 or later, and there's at least 1 American frigate in the harbor of Alexandria. Place 1 Marine and 5 Arab infantry units in the city of Alexandria. We're going to play that one. This is a core card. After playing this event, this card is removed from the game. So in my removed pile, put that right there. And finally, here come the Marines. Well, 1 Marine unit and 5. Did it say 5? Double check it just to make sure. 5 Arab units in the city of Alexandria. Okay, so Hemet is in play now, which is good because now we have to start paying attention to the Constantinople sends aid, but that only happens when they capture the port of Dern, which they haven't done yet, but we do need to keep an eye on it. Flips over to the T-Bot player. Yada, yada, nothing. 5 Corsair battle. Still don't have 5 Corsairs yet, so we draw another card. Troops to Benghazi. Playable if Hemet's army has not captured Benghazi. It has not happened. Place 2 Tripolitan infantry in the city of Benghazi. Let's see what the solo chart says about this. Let's see. Troops to Benghazi. If Benghazi is destroyed by Tripoli, play immediately. Otherwise, discard to perform a raid or build. Okay, so that is good there. So Benghazi is going to get 2 more Tripolitan infantry units. That's not good. I'll put a couple more troops in Benghazi. All right. Now we're in the way. As you can see, the game does play really fast once you know what you're doing. So back over to my turn. Oh, good golly. Yeah, I don't have... there's not a frigate. Pretty much all these are pointless right now. Let's take a look at Jefferson. Move up to 8 frigates. Resolve the battle normally. I've only got 6 frigates out there, but it could be huge. Yeah, let's go ahead and play Jefferson. Move up to 8 frigates and resolve any battles. So go ahead. Score card. Discard, remove from the game when played. So we're going to push everything into the port of Tripoli itself, dragging the 1 surviving gunboat along with us. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's going to be 13 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 dice. Just what I happen to have in my hand. And of course, as you can tell, that's not all the dice that the game, because all those dice over there, that's also dice that the game has provided. So you get a lot of dice out of it. You get 24 dice. So let's go ahead. And I don't have any battle cards that can be played. He doesn't have any. Yeah, so basically the last 2 battle cards that the Tripolitan player has is playable if the Philadelphia runs aground. We haven't played that. And play at the start of a land battle. So neither one of those are in effect. Go ahead and roll the dice. And how many do we blow out of the water? We blow 2 out of the water. All right. So that means the Tripolitan player gets 4 dice back because he had 4 Corsairs in there originally, and nothing. Big goose egg. Not good for the Barbary Coast pirates. And since that is a combat, everything gets returned to Malta. And hey, wide open for the Tripolitan forces to raid, but as you and I both know, it's probably not going to happen just because of the way the cards lay out. All right, so flips back over to the T-Bot player. Constant, yeah, neither one of those are in effect. 5 Corsair check, nope. So draw a card. Troops to Dern. Playable if Hamet's army has not captured Dern. Place 2 Tripolitan, and I'm going to guess it's going to be play as... if Dern is controlled by Tripoli, play immediately. Otherwise, discard to perform a raid or build. So that gets discarded, and Dern gets 2 more infantry in it. Wow, there's a lot of infantry between Alexandria and Tripoli. Probably a good thing that there's a couple different ways that we can actually win this. All right, so there we go. Winter, spring, 1806. Now, we even have a more challenging or different at the start of 1806 for a card draw. Each player draws all their cards remaining in the draw pile. So I basically get all my cards. And of course I can only keep 8, and we're looking to try to win this quick. So let's take a look at the treaty. Playable if it is the fall of 1805 or later. It is. Cities of Algiers, Tangiers, and Tunis are all at peace. They are, because there's no ships there. The city of Dern has been captured. Crap! And there are no Tripolitan frigates in the harbor of Tripoli. Well, there's no frigates there. That's the one I could try to capture Dern, but I don't think I want to try to do that. So let's look at the other victory card, Victory or Death. Playable in fall of 1805, Aleda. Move all American frigates and gunboats to the harbor of Tripoli. Remove Hamet's army from Benghazi to Tripoli, and/or send in the Marines. Resolve the assault on Tripoli. And this was, yeah, this is fighting it to the end. So let's go ahead and we'll keep that one. We'll keep this one. Play at the start of land battle. All Marine units hit on a 5 or 6 each round of combat. So we're going to keep that one. And we're also going to playable if Assault on Tripoli is the active event card this turn. Place 3 Marine infantry units in the city of Tripoli. We're going to keep that one. Let's see. See if there's any other. Nope, that's really. Yeah, I think pretty much that, but I do have, let's see, so that's 3 cards. I do need 5 more, so, you know, it's not really going to make that much difference because that's going to be the first card I'm going to play. So 5, 6, 7, all right, so we're just going to, yeah, keep that random, and the rest of those are discarded. So, spring of 1806. Now, historically, the war ended in 1805, I think. So we are actually, you are given the option, if the game goes that long, to go beyond what the historical precedent was, which, you know, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Plenty of games have done that. So what are we doing? My turn. Yes, it's going to be the assault on Tripoli. Move all American frigates and gunboats. We're just going to move them there. Move Hamet's army from Benghazi or oh, I don't have Benghazi. Or send in the Marines. Oh, I'm going to have to do that then. Playable if assault on Tripoli is the active event card this turn. I did not notice that I had to have Marines in Benghazi to move Marines. So we only get 3 Marine units. I'm going to be attacking Tripoli. So we're going to play that card, and it's the assault on Tripoli. And playable at the start of a land battle. All Marine units hit on a 5 or 6 for each round of combat, which is good for the last round. And as a counter, the Tripolitan, playable to start a land battle. Before the battle starts, roll 1 dice for each Arab infantry unit. For each 6, take an Arab infantry unit and return it to the supply. Well, there's no Arab units because all the Arab units are the white units. So this card is not going to do any good because we don't have any Arab units in Tripoli. It's just a straight up naval invasion. All right, now this works a little bit differently. Combat goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Go ahead and hit the rules just to make sure, because the assault on Tripoli, unlike normal naval combat, let's go ahead and show you. Unlike normal naval combat, the naval combat is fought until one fleet has been eliminated. At the end of each round of combat, sunk American frigates are taken by the Tripolitan player, and all of the sunk ships are moved to supply. Damaged frigates are returned to their side to indicate they have suffered 1 hit, but still continue to roll 2 dice. If a 4th American frigate is sunk during combat, the Tripolitan player immediately wins the game. The American player wins the naval combat. Any damaged American frigates are removed to supply. Any surviving American gunboats and undamaged frigates may make 1 round bombardment on the Tripolitan ground forces. Then the American fleet is moved to Malta. Ground combat then begins. And ground combat keeps going back and forth until one side is the winner. All right, so we're doing all that. Probably shouldn't have played the Marine sharpshooters yet, but yeah, whatever. So what are we looking at? We're looking at 4, 5, 6, 14, 15 dice. So we know I've got 13 dice right there. So add in 2 more dice for 15. Come back here. Don't try to escape. Stop that. 2 hits. Out of everything, 2 hits. All right, well, that's going to sink both the Corsairs. So that's going to pretty much guarantee that the land forces are going to make it on. So the Corsairs do have an option to shoot back. Oh, wow. Hell of a time for their dice to finally come through. They're going to go, we're going to go ahead and sink one of the gunboats, and we're going to damage one of the frigates, which technically, I mean, it goes back into the supply, although normally it would go on the next turn of the turn track. Then now we're getting into the ground combat. So each frigate gets to make 1 ground bombardment, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 10 dice. So 10 dice for a bombardment, and hope we get some 6s. Whoops, I had 1 dice fall off the table. All right, so we got 1 6. Yeah, 1 6. So the bombardment kills off 1 infantry unit, which is good. Now it comes down to Marines versus Tripolitan infantry, and it's kind of bad, but we do have this card, playable at the start of a land battle. All Marine units hit on 5 or 6 for each round of combat. All right, so let's go ahead and do it first. So we got 3 Marine units that hit on a 5 or 6. So that's going to be 2. And so that means the Tripolitan forces have 5 dice because they started off the round of combat with 5. Nothing, no hits. All right, so the 2 that were killed return to the supply. We go into another round of combat, U.S. Marines again, and since they get the Marine sharpshooters every round of combat, they still hit on a 5 or 6. Nothing there, and so the Tripolitan troops shoot back. Oh, oh no, this is not good. All right, so 1 dice for the Marine player, 5 or 6, that's a hit. But the Tripolitan player still has 2 dice or 3 dice because that's what they started the round of combat off with. That's it. Game over, and the Tripolitan forces managed to win this game again. I've not been able to win with the U.S. yet, but that was pretty good. Coming down to the last combat there, yeah, that was that was pretty cool. I'm gonna have to keep playing this to see if I can actually win it as the Americans. Maybe someday. So anyways, that is the Shores of Tripoli. For the most part, that's the solo, the T-Bot player, and it's given you a really good idea how the actual 2-player game would also work. Only, well, obviously the second player, the Tripolitan player, would be playing cards like the American player would be. Overall, again, I really like this game. It's quick, it's simple. I mean, even with me just jibber jabbering as I was going through everything, it's still, the entire game solo took about an hour. You get a couple people together who know the rules, bam, you're going to knock this out in 15 minutes, you get 30 minutes, 45 at the outside most. I still think this is going to be real popular at cons. It's something that can be set up real quick and played at a con between rounds. And you know, it's as you can see, it's kind of evenly balanced. I mean, by all rights, I should have won that, but when it came down to the actual invasion, it didn't go so well for me. So sorry to my Marine brothers and sisters out there. You guys weren't able to pull it off this time. So in the future, the Marine Corps hymn would not be to the Shores of Tripoli, although it would probably still be to the Halls of Montezuma, which is supposedly the next game that Kevin is going to be working on for Fort Circle Games. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with that, because again, another real interesting battle that just doesn't get a lot of coverage. So that's all I got to say. Fun game, enjoyable. I had a good time with it. I'm looking forward to more games from Kevin. Questions, comments, concerns, complaints, criticisms in the comment section below, and I'll see everybody later. Yeah.